Hi, guys. It's Archie Luxury, and you are on the Archie Luxury channel. Today, guys, we have got a special program today. I'm leaving to see Bundaberg and pay my respects tomorrow for Sirocco at his funeral. That's right. Our good friend Sirocco, he is unfortunately he passed away, and he was fighting pancreatic cancer, and unfortunately he passed away. As I said, there, lovely guy. I love the Sirocco, and it's a long trick. Bundaberg is a long fucking way away there, but I think it is a good trip to do. I think it is good to do. He's a good man. Sirocco was a good man. Guys, let's start the show. Start the show. We've got Patel Philippe, $2. Man on the fucking moon. Man on the fucking moon. Let's get an intro. Let's get it going. And let's get this baby into top gear. Hi guys, it's Archie Luxury. Guys, I want to talk to you about David SW. Guys, if you are in America, if you are looking for a Rolex watch of your dreams, in fact, if you're looking for a contemporary modern wristwatch, I strongly advise you to look at David SW. Guys, don't play the dealer games. Don't bring in chocolates or Krispy Kremes for your dealer, hoping to get a Rolex at retail. It's futile. Please, guys, save your dignity. Keep some pride. Go to David SW. I would highly recommend David SW. If you're in America and you're looking for a watch, go to David SW. That's it, guys. David SW. So now, guys, let's get this baby off the ground. There. We have got a few super chats that are coming in fast and furious. That's right there, guys. Let's have a look. Now, let's have a look here. Let's have a sticky beak. Let's have a look there. Just having a sticky beak. Having a look. Let's have a look. Here we go. We got today's show is today's worst watch buys. Avoid these. Yes, we've got the link is pinned. Got a beautiful link pinned. We've got some people coming on today. I am going to the funeral for Sirocco tomorrow's funeral, and I'm going to be driving down there, staying overnight, and then coming back tomorrow. That's what I shall do. We've got another super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Worst buys today must be in gold Rolex at retail. Tell him the drum pontiff. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. buying gold Rolex, what can I say there? It's a tough one. Please jump on. I'm just sending some invites. Please jump on if you are free. Great show today. Worst watches to buy. What's the topic there? Worst watch buys. Worst watch buys. Let's see what we can. Worst watch buys. Yeah, there we go. Worst watch buys. That's simple to the point. We'll get that. I'm just going to get this all ready to go there. I'll send a few out. We'll see what we can get. I'll send one to Jay Anthony. I've got Machine Gun Chris. We'll see if we can get him. I will. The Goldberg. We'll see what Goldberg. We'll see if he's free. Kesslowitz. We'll see if. Well, he's a bit busy actually. Red Shovel. We'll see if Red Shovel can come on. Just send a few out. Just send a few out there. Doc is always welcome. And we've got. That's okay. That's all done beautifully. Worst buys at the moment. I tell you what. Yeah, I would be steering clear. Rolex in precious metal. Now, there's some that are still okay. John Mayer, Daytona, for example. That's still a good buy. There's still some really great pieces you can get. But I got to be honest with you, a lot of them, you want to be careful. Careful. That's right, guys. You want to be careful. And that is the whole thing there. That is the whole point. The whole point. So, Rolex, worst buys. Also, Two-Tone. Two-Tone's lost its sheen. We had HR man came in there and said, oh, I managed to get this. Well, that watch isn't trading for huge profit. If you wanted to sell that, it's not going to be a huge profit. It's not going to be a huge profit in the least. That's the reality there. The reality is it's not going to be so fantastic. It's going to be a bitch. Steel Sports is still good, but Datejust, especially 36 mil. Fuck. We got Jimmy, $2. Work with him, not against him. That's Jimmy. Work with him, not against him. And we got Patel Philippe, $5. Invite Killing Time with Norman on the show. He has a cool watch where he's doing 30 days of dress watch wearing. Love the concept. Invite Killing Time with Norman. Killing Time with Norman. Interesting. Any of these guys coming on? Do any of these the guys come on there? That's a good question. Do any of these guys jump on? Interesting point. Very interesting point. Let's have a look if I've got any people who could jump on now. Let's have a look. I've got a few invites. We'll send them out. Let's have a look here. Who else have I got? I can send some. Let's have a look here. I'll just send him an invite. just see what I've got coming here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. What else we've got coming here? D. I don't know this guy here. I got Pound the Drums. I'll just send him. He's a good guy. I like Pound the Drums. Who else is there? Just trying to see if I can get. I got Marcin. I've sent an invite to him. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. We have got, who else have I got here? We've got Patel Philippe, $5. What do you love about you, Narden and Brumont? Hey, what do I love about them? That's two brands. Toxic. They are so fucking toxic. Toxic. I got toxic. Toxic. Let's have a look here. What do I love about Ulysses Nada? I love Nico. Nico Leonard. He got the beautiful Ulysses Narden for the Gumball 3000, but his Ferrari doesn't seem to work. Fuck. He's got the 812. It doesn't seem to work. Doesn't seem to work. That's a problem. That is certainly a problem. The Ferrari doesn't work. Brumont, I don't mind some of their designs. It's just the fact that the pricing is just out of this fucking world. That's the problem. The pricing is out of this fucking world. And Brumont, what do I like about them? Actually, I hate both of the brands. I hate them. I hate those brands. They do less than nothing for me. We got Jimmy, $2. Quick wristwatch check. It's quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing the two-tone Bluesy today. Bluesy. I'm wearing the Bluesy. We got Patel Philippe, $10. Respond to 10 free comments in the chat and actually respond, FICA. Don't just read that shit. Okay, we got PMB. AC3, where's the chair that was paid for? The chair is there. There you go. Chair is there. Ready to be swapped in. We've got Killing Time with Norman. I could see if my camera will connect to my laptop and dig out my microphone. Thank you. Jump on. We've got who else here? Mrs. Wilkinson. Archie, is Nico a big headed, full of himself show off or not? People seem to like it. Little Dave, let's get the wine going down. I'm driving today. Jimmy, $500,000 car and it doesn't work. Fuck me dead. And we have got, I like Dirk Diglock. I like Brumont. Thank you, Dirk. Dirk likes Brumont. We got Owls Gold and Watch. Hey guys, I'm going to be late again. Link for Patel and his ambassador. Iva, no one wants to come on because there are no leads left to steal. All the leads have already been stolen. Sad but true. We've got a super chat here from Patel Philippe. $5. AC3. How much for you to do a burnout in the 3 Series while you yell, "Fuck you, Nico"? And I got to tell you, I've actually never done a burnout. No, the tires. Ooh, the transmission. Do you realize these are not good things to do? I mean, you can take off quickly, rapid acceleration. That's one thing, but a burnout, I would never do. I'd never, not one. I don't think I've ever done that in any car. A burnout. No. Nope. No, definitely not. I like to be responsible. 3 Series. Fuck, it's all plastic parts, Tan. They're plastic parts. I really would never do that. I've never even used launch mode. Okay, in my 3 Series, I've never even used launch mode. Okay, never. I've taken off a couple times really fast after it was warmed up, but that's about it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not afraid. That's just the truth. If you look after your car, it'll look after you. It'll look after you. Come on, Killing Time with Norman. Jump on. Let's get him on as a panelist. Jump on. We need some panelists here. We need some panelists on the stream today. That's we do. We've got a super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Why is the Rolex Bluesy Submariner the absolute greatest of all time of wristwatches per the Pontiff? You know, I love it for a number of reasons. 1, Blue Shirt Buddha. Number 2, Sirocco sales. Number 3, we got Jay Anthony on. Without further ado, hello.
Good day, sir.
How are you? Tell me this. Doing burnouts. Have you ever done a burnout in one of your cars?
Thousands of times. Drifting, reverse 180s, everything you should never do. Yes, they're very fun.
See, I think realistically, like I've just got a normal 3 Series. That's not the sort of car you would do that in. You're going to have very expensive problems if you start doing this shit. Do you agree with that or not?
You'd want to probably brake torque it, get the turbo boost up, which puts a lot of pain on your engine, yes. And if it's not meant for that, some drive shaft components may go along with the burnout.
Like, I've never even used launch control.
I've actually seen a lot of tests that say you're faster doing it yourself than the launch control is because it's conservative on the drive components for warranty, I think, with some manufacturers.
Yeah, I've accelerated fast after the car's warmed up. I've had I've taken off really quickly.
Yeah.
But I think I think where a lot of Beamers fall down is people drive them like that and they don't realize if you continually drive like that, it's not going to last.
Yes, drifting, especially on old BMWs, is a great way to screw up your frame. It puts a lot of with a stress on the rear differential mount and can take part of the subfloor
engine
with
mounts
it.
as well. The engine mounts.
Yep. Tires are
Best-
expensive too. On my
Sorry?
Corvette, I said tires too. On my Corvette, burnouts were a couple grand to replace tires.
Yes. So I got to be honest with you. I think if you treat the car with respect, like warm it up, don't drive it like it's stolen, it'll last a lot longer than if you treat it like shit.
For sure. I do believe in the Italian tune-up. To your point, though, it has to be properly warmed up first.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think a good long drive, direct, especially for a direct injection engine, I think they like that, right? But the reality is, if you continually put pressure on it and drive it like it's stolen like that, you're going to, firstly, the other thing that's expensive is you're going to do brake pads and rotors.
So in a manual transmission car, I know people use the brakes when they do a burnout. I basically just rev it and drop the clutch and use traction to do it. But if you're riding your brakes to do it, you're right. Your brakes go with it for sure.
They're $1,000 a corner.
If you take it to a stop, yeah, of course. They're not that difficult to do yourself.
It's they are very I couldn't think of doing that stuff. I think, I had a friend of mine who had an E-Class E320 when it was new.
Yep.
Got over 90,000 kilometers. What's that? 60,000 miles out of the brakes.
That's pretty good.
He drove it like a hearse.
I mean, that could actually be bad for the car mechanically if you're not fully warming it up and running it through the RPM range. It could be the opposite. It's like leaving a car sit.
Yeah, fair point.
I mean, you see people baby these sports cars for 20 years, and then some idiot like me gets one and drives them into the ground very quickly because they're not. Everything is not prepared to tolerate that. They've been broken into a very low standard. I don't know.
Yes.
Did you do a burnout in your 3 Series? Was that a?
I've never done a burnout.
Ever. Well, we need to teach you, my friend. That's a rite of passage. Drifting is even more fun if you can balance the car in a drift. That's one of the greatest joys in life.
Yeah, I've always been concerned. Look, we've got Killing Time. Killing Time is joining us. Hello, how are you?
Hey, good. Can you hear me at all?
Time with Norman. Tell me. Well, this is Jay Anthony. He's a huge watch aficionado, and he loves his watches.
Nice.
It's a pleasure to have you on here.
Thank you.
Just very quickly, what I will say this is, we got a super. Let me just catch up on these super chats. We got Patel Philippe, $5. Why is the Rolex Bluesy the absolute greatest of all time of wristwatches for the Pontiff? Now, I got to tell you, the thing I love about the Bluesy is that it's a steel sports watch with gold accents. So this watch here, it's not like a solid gold that will stretch to the same degree like a solid gold will. It's versatile, it's usable, it's beautiful, it's flash. It's a watch you can wear every day. It's just the ultimate tool watch. I think this watch here, it's classy, it's everything you could possibly want. That's what more do you want? What more? For most people, if you see a man in the work environment who has a Bluesy, you think, he's doing okay. You never say, he's on his bones of his ass. You think, he's doing okay. A Bluesy. It's nothing to be ashamed of having a Bluesy. That is for sure. And I think any Rolex in the workplace is a great thing there. We got a super chat, Patel. By the way, what do you guys think of the Bluesy? What do you guys think? Jay Anthony, what do you think?
I really like it. I helped my father get the black version of it, and I feel like I see more of the black than the blue. The blue, especially on the ceramic ones, really pops. Like pictures don't do it justice. In person, the way the blue is, even the fakes don't get it right. It's very radiant.
I got to tell you, I always thought the blue was better than the black.
and many years ago, I actually acquired a black one. This is pre-ceramic. This is over 20 years ago. I wore it.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the black. The black two-tone Submariner, steel and gold black dial. Oh, it was stealthy as well
Yep.
as being a little bit of gold. It
Yep.
was I honestly I think the black in some ways, if you've got to wear it, you've got to enjoy it, but it's a fantastic watch. Killing Time. Tell me,
Yep.
what do you think of the Bluesy? Tell me what you think.
Is the blue dial bright like that in person? I actually haven't even experienced a Bluesy in person.
Yeah, look, it's kind of there are a couple different blues. When they came out originally in ceramic, they were a Smurfy blue, like a very, this here. But then people really wanted the traditional, so it's kind of like it's got a special look to it. In some lighting, it's darker. In other lighting, it's blue. It is. Look, this is actually the previous one because the new one has the white writing. I got this one because it came up at I'm not fussy. I have to have this exact model. I let the universe, whatever comes up at a good price is what I tend to go for. So I don't like to just limit myself, but I got to tell you something. The two-tone Submariner. Yeah, no, there we go. Next super chat. We got Patel Philippe, $5. $5. Could you do the 30-day dress watch only challenge like Killing Time with Norman is doing? Now, I've got to tell you, Norman, what watches do you have? Firstly, let's start this off. Actually, we'll come back to that. I think wearing a dress watch for 30 days, that's a great thing to do. I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm trying to cover things that are kind of, off the beaten path. So I did cover a JLC, but kind of tracked down some other things. Like right now, I am wearing a vintage Tudor, which absolutely gorgeous. I recently visited a Rolex 80 in Seattle with a friend of mine. And the two Dans, there was Dan and Dan working there. And I was wearing this. So when I was trying on different Rolexes, I had it sitting there on the counter and they were like, "What is that? That's absolutely gorgeous." But yeah, this is one of my luxury pieces. And I also have a pull router. Other than that, I'm kind of mid-tier. So I've got like one of the Longines Dolce Vita line. Recently picked up one of those Accutron Legacy watches, the shield shaped case. Let me grab that. Because I was watching these online, but they looked a little bit thick in all the photos. But I featured this watch. Oops, dogs. I featured this watch. Oops. Sorry about that. Technical difficulty.
No problems at all. We love that.
Just a moment here. Okay. So I was watching these on the Accutron site, but they looked kind of thick. And then I featured it in my 30 dress watches in 30 days challenge. And I was grabbing wrist shots and stuff, and they just looked gorgeous. So I had to pick one up right there. Just 100% vintage style and size. These are little guys. I think this is 34, but absolutely gorgeous.
Right now, it's very pretty abstract art. It's hard to see it.
Just catch up just very quickly. Let me just catch up here on the super chats here. We've got another super chat. Patel Philippe. J. Anthony, what's your guilty car watch food? What's your guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure car watch food.
Geez, I don't know. Car, I love the Toyota Celsior, which is probably the most boring car to most people they could ever imagine. So I'll say that's probably the car. The watch, I know this is going to sound ridiculous. I actually went through a point where I liked Invictas, and I think the Pro Diver is actually a decent watch, and I will stand by that despite hate. And food, I'm big on Asian food. I just eat Asian food, so to me, it's like Northern Chinese beef noodle soup is like my thing, or ekiben, which you would know, Archie, you've been to Japan.
Nick Miller, $2.80. Are modern GMC interiors good? They're all garbage.
Do you even get those in Australia?
They're very expensive. Those GMC trucks are really expensive.
They are better than they've been in a long time, but to your point, they're definitely not best in class.
Patel Philippe, $2. What's the best Explorer 2 of all time? I really like the 40 mil. I think the 40 mil, I think the sweet spot would be Holes case, solid end link.
I agree with you. 16,570 Polar.
I love my I got a 42 mil. I love my 42 mil Explorer 2. I love it. I love it. However, I really do think the that the 40 mil, because it was a tool watch, you could take the fucking bracelet off with a paper clip. You just push in the, with the Holes case. The Holes case, that's such a utilitarian type thing, and I love the modern. I love the 42. I've got a 42 Explorer 2, but it doesn't stop me realizing the sweet spot is definitely the best Explorer 2 of all time is the Holes case, solid end links, Holes case. That's a go anywhere watch. Patel Philippe, $5. Hello, Killing Time with Norman. What do you consider is the best dress watch of all time?
Oh my. Oh, that one's brutal. Of the pieces that I personally own and have experienced, I always have to go with the pull router. It has so much sentiment for me. A good friend of mine found it on Chrono 24, and my wife was good enough to let me dip into the bank account and get it before it got snatched up, and just gorgeous piece.
Good value as well. Pole router's a good value.
Yeah. I have the black dial variant. I keep my eyes open for like the silver dial ones. But yeah, that's a big one. I've had Reverso on my radar for a while, and always drool over yours, Archie. Always.
Beautiful Reverso. Reverso is such a cool watch.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. But most of the pieces that I hunt after are vintage. So at some point, I would love to get my hands on a Don Draper DeVille, the no date with the crosshairs. Yeah. And I do love me the 36 millimeter no date black dial OP.
Yes. We've got a super chat coming. Hang on, to call this up. I don't know what this is. He calls it the thoughts on the Chichi de Maze 16570. That's an Explorer 2.
Yeah,
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is he talking about? I don't get it. I don't understand what is the, if a watch, oh fuck. Why doesn't this? Oh, my Chrome is playing up. I fucking, what is the, well, I have no idea. What the fuck is that? A rare first year production 16570 with transitional dial. Okay, that's what it is. So it's the first year of, okay, it's Explorer 2 40 mil Sapphire. First year. Okie dokie. Wow. Thoughts on the he calls it the I don't even pronounce that 16570 Rolex Explorer 2 from the panel AC3 to rate last. Thoughts on it? Okay, so let's see if I can pull up a photo of this thing. Oh, just so it looks for the most part, you really can't tell much difference. I'll just get it up on the screen here. Ta-da. What do you think? It's Explorer 2.
Ooh.
Doesn't look terribly much difference. Is the lume a bit different? I don't know. Is that what's the telltale sign? So it's an early Explorer 2. Well, okay, I don't think anyone can see much difference here.
Oh, I get it now. It's they're calling the maize like corn. It's when the lume ages and it turns yellowy. I understand. It's an age dial. It's patina.
You know what? I actually had a friend who bought one of these. It turned out it was fucking fake. They faked it to age.
See, this is one thing that old Rolex dials do have issues, because I had a 16710 Coke and the whole dial was spider cracking, and people said it added more value, and I just thought it looked terrible. So I guess it's eye of the beholder. I don't like it. I think it looks kind of odd when it's this color. What do you think?
I don't like it because I got a friend who fucking bought one that was turned out to be fake. It was fake. It was artificially done. You know what I mean? And I hate that.
Fake patina is good. Yeah.
I must say, you look at this 16570. I've owned a few of these.
I have one right now. Yeah,
beautiful watch. They are a beautiful watch. Absolutely. Explorer 2. I think the sweet spot. They call this neo vintage, because true vintage is plastic. Plastic like 1655, 1680, four digit. Whereas this here is neo vintage, and I've got to tell you, I own neo. I owned this shit 20 years ago, and I even owned it 10 years ago. It's fucking beautiful. This is beautiful stuff.
I have a 94 box papers restored one that's unpolished, original condition. This is my travel watch, because you can set 2 time zones so easily. The hour hand moves independently. It's just such a great tool watch, and nobody notices it unless they like watches.
100% right. 100% right. What a absolutely. I think it's gorgeous. That is a gorgeous. It's fucking gorgeous. I love it. I actually, the more I see the 16.5, not necessarily the early ones, but a 16570, the more I fucking love these watches. These are so beautiful. Norman, do you have any Rolex? Norman, Rolex. Steel Sports.
I do not have any Rolex. But I was going to say that I agree with the sentiment on the patina dial. I'm a huge vintage fan / neo vintage fan, but I'm kind of weird. I don't like a whole lot of patina either. I would much rather get a vintage watch that's like getting it brand new, so it's in just great shape, but I know that it's vintage, so it still has that soul to it. But
yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to join the chat here. I may have to do it from my other machine.
No, that's okay. We got another super chat. Let's catch up. Rich Mitch, £2. Outrageous. I've got a pole router too. Show yours. Okay, we're trying to increase the quality. We'll get that up in a minute. So the pole router. What era of watches are we talking, pole router?
60s,
50. I think mine is probably 55. I think the first year was 54.
Universal Genève, which is how would you place Universal Genève? I kind of put them on a par with Gerard Perregay.
They made some brilliant watches. Oh my goodness. I've got a search out there that I check all the time for Universal Genève, and pretty much every piece that comes through that feed is just brilliant.
That's
Beautiful
awesome.
stuff there. Beautiful
Yeah.
stuff. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, what vintage Tudor do you have? And are you a fan of the older Tudor subs?
So I don't know exactly what reference this is. Let me see if I can get it nice and clear on the screen. I'm kind of mirrored here. There we go. Just absolutely gorgeous. It has a screw down crown. It's nice and thin. It has the old school oyster case. And when I got it from my friend, the crown tube was having issues. So I sent it into my watchmaker and he replaced the tube. So it's like a brand new screw down crown on this thing. Yeah, and he was tripping on this watch also. On my receipt, wrote this big letter about how it's one of the cleanest vintage watches he's encountered. And I mean, my friend just found it on eBay. Like, he absolutely lucked out.
What do you do for work, Norman, if you don't mind me asking?
I am a software developer.
Software developer. Very, very cool. Let's just catch up on the super chat. Dr. Bob's Nightmare, £2. Hi, killing time with Norman. What's up, man? He's joining us tonight. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, tell us about your channel and what watches you've been reviewing lately.
Sure, yeah. So my channel, back in the day, I was watching Archie and all the guys, and after watching religiously all of these watch channels and stuff, I was thinking it would be fun to do a channel that has kind of a loungy vibe and a real focus on classy, dressy watches.
Lounge music?
Yeah, just jazz lounge.
I'm really a huge fan of Soft Tempo. You remember Soft Tempo? There's a YouTube channel.
Oh,
yes, I do. Yep.
You know Soft Tempo. How do you know that, Jay Anthony?
I would subscribe to it. Yeah, you're like a girl from Ipanema kind of guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that sort of that music. The funny thing is, there's not much of it on Spotify.
Yeah.
No, there's some good Italian music from that era too. I think it's at Mina, Nessa Muna. There's a lot of stuff from that similar vibe.
Yeah, I like really like lounge heavy lo-fi.
That's sort of any song with a trombone in it as the solo instrument. How could you fucking not?
Oh, that song's great.
Mid-century jet set. Yeah, I feel your vibe.
Yep. That was the whole idea.
It makes me sad. I think that era is it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very sad that it's terrible how it's kind of ended. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I read an article that tracked the complexity of music over the years, and it said it peaked around 1975, and every year since, it's gotten less and less complex and more predictable.
Oh, okay.
So there's actually scientists that have studied this, and music technically is a lot less advanced than it used to be.
Yes. Yeah, interesting. Are any of you guys Muzak fans by any chance?
Muzak? Like elevator music?
Yeah, elevator music. Yeah.
If it's like older style, like vintagey stuff, I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I love lo-fi. That's my jam.
I got nothing. Look, Muzak was session musicians, professional musicians who played these songs. It was I got nothing. I don't know why Muzak gets such a bad name. It's sort of I love the lounge vibe. I totally with you. So what watches have you been reviewing there? Tell me, Norman, what are you reviewing?
Let's see. So for my 30 days dress watch challenge, trying to remember all of the ones that I've done. Let me think. It was all over the place. So I have like higher end stuff, the JLC Moon Phase, that one was pretty amazing. I think, was that today's? Ew, I'd have to look, but yeah, absolutely gorgeous watch. And then I touched on a Hamilton. It was actually a ladies' Hamilton, so it was like vintage size, almost the style of dress watch that like Grand Seiko does, you know, where it's like an everyday wear piece, but it's clean and sparkly. And if you put it on a leather dress strap, it looks nice and dressy as well. I kicked it off. Oh, I did my Dolce Vita, which when I decided to pick that one up, I was on a trip to the city and tried on Tank Americaine, and then was just wandering around the shop and ended up seeing one of these smaller Dolce Vitas and tried it on. And I was shocked that I actually liked the Dolce Vita more, even though I was hoping to get like a Tank Americaine at some point. When I saw them side by side, the Dolce was just more my style. And I do have a soft spot for Longines. Most of my collection is kind of mid-range. You know, the luxury pieces I have are the Tudor and the Pole Router at this point in time. But yeah. And I've actually been exploring like that Accutron, where brands are doing these absolutely vintage pieces, but they're contemporary. And I love it. Like the Nevada Grenchen Antarctic.
You like 34. The Black Bay?
Yes. Yep. I think I tried on a couple of the Black Bays a few weeks ago when I went to Seattle with my friend and visited the two Dans. And actually, that was one of the pieces that I kind of was like, I'm going to put this on my list from this trip. Absolutely gorgeous piece.
Next super chat, just 1 minute. We got William Gaudry and £2. I've sent you an email with my 2-piece Rolex. Okay, I'll get that up in a minute. We got Sam Davidson, £2. Love the Pontiff. Love the Pontiff. Thank you so much. There, love the Pontiff. I'm just trying to find William Gaudry. And when did you send me this? I haven't got it. When did you, which, oh, let me have a look. Maybe this email address. No. How long ago did you send this to me? I'm just trying to find. I can't see it. William Gaudrian. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, what do you like most about the Reverso, and was Archie an influence in your love for the watch?
I love tank style dress watches. For a while, that was pretty much all I was interested in. And absolutely, yeah, seeing Archie's Reverso all the time, it was, yeah. The Duo Face was kind of a Grail watch for me for a while. But then I think the Pole Router came up and I kind of got sidetracked with that. But
how did you learn about the Pole Router? Is that something you discovered on your own, or how did you come across it? Because that's more of a niche that you know about or you don't.
Yeah, hilariously, I think I encountered the Pole Router out of ignorance because I was huge into Mad Men, and I mistakenly thought that that's what he was wearing. I didn't realize that it wasn't, and so I was just looking and saw this similar aesthetic. I was like, oh, that must be it. I love these things, and yeah. I mean, it just has all of the characteristics that I love. I love crosshairs and that style of, get it to focus here. Nope. But I love that style of dial with there it goes, with the silver around the edge, and just such a gorgeous piece.
Favorite character on Mad Men? I love that show too, since you brought that up.
Dawn. I was a huge Don Draper fan. I mean, and John Hamm's kind of my bro anyway. I'll follow his movies. Like I love Bad Times at the El Royale, seen that so many times, so many times.
We got a super chat from Patel Philippe, $10. Norman, what are good buys in vintage these days? What brands do you love and which don't interest you in collecting? I used to collect vintage Rolex and Seiko. Patel Philippe.
So I have a feed for all the brands that we're all familiar with. I have a feed for like vintage Hamiltons, vintage Omega dress watches, stuff like that. There's a lot that comes through by Hamilton that's pretty great. Universal Genève, I mean, like I mentioned before, everything that comes through just looks so good. And after getting my Tudor, I've been keeping my eyes on that, as well as a vintage Rolex saved search. One piece that I actually have right here that's funky and fun is the Olympos mystery dial. The Zodiac Olympos, man, my focus is not so great there. Yeah, so this is a mystery dial. It has the funky shaped case.
Those mystery dials. They're beautiful.
Yes. And these are really affordable. Like they haven't exploded like a lot of other vintage pieces have. These are still, I think you can get them around $400, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. So a lot of brands.
Would you ever go for a Vacheron or a Patek Philippe, Norman?
Absolutely, yes. I haven't researched what model I would go for, but I love me some Patek Philippe's when I do see them in ADs. Most of my researching is just scouring for vintage pieces or any contemporary pieces that.
Perfect size. What's the perfect size, do you think, in your opinion?
For me, I've absolutely gone little. So my personal size is 34.
You like vintage? Yeah.
Yep. Fully vintage. 36 is okay. I can do that. I love like the vintage Explorers, the 1016s, and the OP in 36. But 34, if I see a nice dress watch in a 34, that'll usually be the one that I end up wearing. Just subconscious preference for that size.
So you're actually very lucky because a lot of the slightly older Pateks, like the 3919, they're like 33 mil.
Oh, perfect.
They're like half the price of any other normal Patek because most people don't want to wear them. So you actually get good shopping.
Okay. Now I'm gonna have to make a list.
Bargains there. That size, there are some. I mean, when I say bargains, you're talking. I think you can get a 3919 for under $10,000 US.
Wow. Yeah, which is cheap for Patek.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic watch as well. It's sort of it is a. We got another super chat. We got Dr. Bob's Nightmare, $5. Norman, thoughts on the Quartz Mundane Stop to Go watch? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know that particular model.
Just see if I can pull it up because it's
the railway watches.
Yeah, the railway watches. That's right. Mundane Stop to Go. See if they can get this up. Oh
yes. Okay.
I suppose it's that they're kind of like a design icon, aren't they? Really, design watch.
Yeah, super Bauhaus.
Yeah, super Bauhaus. Kind of gone a little bit overboard, I think, in some ways.
Yeah, I think my only beef with this is the seconds hand. For me personally, with the Bauhaus watches, I like the super thin, long batten markers. But I mean, these are one of the most well-known in the style for sure.
Here we go. We got a super chat. Patel Philippe, $5. Pull up the Cartier Tank Solo Mosaic and get J. Anthony. This is the Cartier
Solo
Tank
Mosaic.
I've never been a big fan of the Tank Solo. What is the Tank? Cartier Tank. That's the Mosaic. Yes, that's the. Okay, what do you think? This is that very much 60s.
Oh, that's
vibe.
crazy. I kind of like it. It's fun. It's
What do you
definitely
think,
retro
JS?
looking.
I tend to be very boring with watches and not like a lot of like things festooned on the dial, but I actually kind of like this too. I'm much more of a MoMA kind of design. So if it has like a mid-century or like modern style, I like it. But something like this, I usually would hate. But this has, I don't know, this is like just subtle enough. I wouldn't wear it, but with that strap, it kind of works for me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty boring as well. I mean, every now and then a fun watch will catch my attention and stuff, but I'm pretty like silver dial, black dial, sunburst is about as wild as I go. But yeah, I kind of like that dial. That's fun.
Beautiful. It is. It's very. Yeah, I get this could be a I'm more of a traditionalist. Let's have a look at what's the price of this? It's solid gold. That's interesting. 14,000. Fuck. It's a $900 premium over the same yellow gold tank with a plain black lacquered dial. Okay. We've got another super chat. Hopefully, $5. Norman, what's your Grail watch? Vintage is totally fine.
Currently, let me think. For a Grail watch, I've pondered this a bunch because what I find is the pieces that I'm after, I wouldn't really consider a Grail watch. So, because they're accessible enough. Currently, I'm still kind of eyeing the Don Draper as a piece I would love to own. So, I think probably the closest would be maybe a Reverso Duo Face in the smaller size. Yeah, because those would definitely be a stretch, like monetarily, to get those. They're easy to get, so it'd be more of a gold watch than a Grail watch. But yeah, probably a Duo Face, I think.
Yes, fair point there. Fair point.
What do you want? What's your ultimate?
Mine.
Yours, Paul. What do you want? No money, no object. You paid off all the debt. You're rolling in cash. What are you buying?
I got to be totally honest with you, Jay Anthony. I got to be totally honest with you. Okay, the more you have, the more you want.
Yep.
I actually see my Grail as my world time that I own.
That's
see that is the Grail. And you know, like you get greedy, say, I want a perpetual, I want this. There's always something, you know, hang on a minute, stop, back the truck up. It's actually, you made an interesting comment. Sometimes it's good to appreciate what you got. For me, world time was always a Grail. I had one before that was stolen. Okay, that was very, very heavy, very hard for me to handle. But then I got the next model and I've kind of justified it. So, well, it's given me a little bit of peace. Not the fact that they were stolen, but the fact that I could say, you know what, this is probably a better watch for me. It's 39.5 mil, a little bit better size. That's kind of a better buy for me. So, in some ways, there for me, I think that is a great. Why is that? It's like you, like Jay Anthony. You've got your day date, and you got your fucking white gold 5196. Aren't those fucking to most people, those would be Grails. You understand? But do you need to have $1 million, half a million? For me, I tell you what, that is the Grail. I've got my Grail. Do I like Tan shows me his perpetual calendar. Do I like it? It's fucking amazing. But for me, I kind of have the one that I stretched myself to. That was not cheap. Okay? So I'm a bit like, I've actually turned the corner and I say, you know what? I've got the Grail. I got the Grail. That is the Grail watch. And I don't think I have to own it forever either. I don't think you have to own these things forever. You have it for a while. You have a relationship with it. Sometimes it's good to cash out of things. Does that make sense or not?
It makes complete sense. Yeah, I think that's very poetic.
And to me, like if I got out of all watches, I'd always say the world time was always the Grail. That's the Grail. That is the one that means for whatever reason. They're not the most expensive. They're not the most whatever. But that's the one that, for me, a Grail is a personal thing. See, the thing I want to say is, I had a friend, Timely Behavior. His Grail was to get a Steel Sports Rolex. And to a lot of men, to get a Steel Sports Rolex, that's an incredible achievement.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's very easy. The problem, I tell you honestly, that the big problem with a lot of YouTubers is that they got to have the best. I got a bigger dick than you. I got this. In some ways, Nico Leonard kind of personifies that. He's got this, he's got that. And you think, well, hang on a minute. Do you really love watches, or do you just want the most hypey things? And I think for me, there are amazing watches, but I don't have to have my Grail, something that means the most. If I walked away from the hobby, what watch would I really say, that was it'd have to be I think the World Time's always fascinated me. I've always loved travel. Yes. I loved the idea of going and traveling, and I enjoyed a lot of travel. And to me, that means the most. I've had a lot of amazing watches, but to me, that's kind of the thing that means the most for me. But
I really like that mosaic dial.
It is so
the more
cool.
It's up there, I'm like, man, that just looks fun and cool.
Let me double down on something you said, because it's one of the reasons I came back. I don't remember the name of the channel, but I got recommended a channel one day, and some guy was talking about levels of collecting, and he was like, if you got a Rolex, maybe you're making 200K and you're just starting out, but you don't have a real buster watch, whatever the frick that meant. And he's like, when you get your couple $100,000 APs, you've really arrived. And I'm just like, small dick, totally insecure, totally not a watch person, shut the fuck up. Like, it's not what it's about. This is all, like you said, it's all the BS stuff. It's about the connection to the watch. It's about the mechanical side of it. It's the travel. I love what you said. That's it.
And I got to tell you something. It's also the same thing can apply to cars there. Well, people say, oh, you got a 330. Oh, it's a poverty one. Well, let me just tell you this there. The fucking tires on that car, on the BMW I've got, they are expensive. Everything is expensive. You know what? I would have much rather, I'll be honest with you, getting a Camry would have been a much more financially enjoyable experience. However, there's certain things I like. But the thing is, I don't have to have an M4 to be happy in my life. I can be perfectly happy with my shitty 4-pot 3 Series. You know, and what's to stop me if I look after it like an M?
Yep.
Who's to say that's wrong to enjoy the car like that?
Yeah, Archie, you know what? The people that see you drive by, 99.99999% of them wouldn't know the difference between an M3 and your car, and they just see BMW and wow, cool looking car.
100%. Let me grab the next super chat very quickly here.
Hi, J. Anthony.
GB20 Max. AC3 looking good. Did you reboot the weight loss? No, but I think it's not about weight loss. It's sensible eating more so than diets don't work. Diets don't work because you're basically starving yourself then you go back to eating like a pig. You have to change your food routine. Believe you me, food is not your friend at times. Rich Mitch, $2. Mine silver dial power router with original bracelet. Nice watch.
Oh, yeah.
We got Philippe, $10. AC and J Anthony. We finally have a guy on the panel that likes smaller watches. Pick the ideal Calatrava and complication for Norman from Paddock's smaller watch catalog in vintage, neo vintage.
I love the Calatravas.
Watch for Norman, the absolute dream watch, Norman, which I think for you would be a Patek 3970. And I've actually held this watch. It's 36 mils and it's manual wind.
That's a beautiful watch.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Lamania based movement. It's got everything that is just spectacular.
Is that is the bezel have like little bosses on it all the way around? Is it not a smooth bezel? It's so small in the pictures I can't make it out. Is the bezel?
It's a smooth bezel. It's a smooth bezel.
Is it okay? Thank you, Arch.
No. There's nothing. It's a smooth bezel. Yeah. I think
that regardless, this thing is beautiful. It's classic looking. It's absolutely 100% dead nuts classic to the bone. This is what it should be. Chronograph with a moon function, straight up. 100%. Like this should be gorgeous. The starting point. This is what you refer against when you're looking, to design a watch.
I'm gonna challenge.
Loose Tooth OC, Loose Toothok, $5. Norman, do you like European Watch Company, Boston, Massachusetts? Omega Century Museum Collection, 1948, 18K Rose Gold Limited.
Absolutely gorgeous. I had to look it up, and I am going to be creating a search for those. They look absolutely amazing.
Archie, pull up the Patek 5200. I'm gonna challenge you because Norman likes square watches and he likes mid-century.
Oh,
that is beautiful.
Yes.
This has an open piece back too. This is your mid-century piece.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That is gorgeous. Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Today I've seen two watches that actually moved.
I got to catch up, Mike. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, you said you like tank style watches. What's your favorite tanks and tank style pieces?
Mostly the ones that now that Patek Philippe is on there. Mostly the pieces that I mentioned, like Reversos. I've always liked the Tank Americaine variants that Cartier puts out, as well as the Cintrays, which are just crazy. I forget who the YouTuber was. There was one of the big channels had a guy as a guest that he was interviewing who had like watch boxes full of the Cintrays. Like, what? And I like my Dolce, which is kind of a Tank Americaine style. I like the really tall rectangular ones that are not quite as squarish. That Patek looks amazing though.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I agree with you there. That's a great point. We got producer Mark, $2. All hail the Great Watch Car Channel YouTube. Thank you, producer Mark. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, what do you like in vintage Tudor and vintage Rolex? Oh, what was that watch, Norman? What was that? What was that watch? Bring it up again.
Yeah, this is the Dolce Vita.
That's the Longines.
Yeah, so it's an accessible piece. It's quartz. This variant is. So it's a bit smaller. It doesn't have a date. It has the sub-seconds. So
it looks like a Cartier kind of.
Yeah. But the lugs are smaller than the Tank Americaines that I was trying on. Those kind of stuck out a bit like horns. I think because it had a thinner strap on the one that I tried on.
Yeah, yeah. I really like the Tank Française. I think the little small one is again, that would be like the starting point for elegant women's watches. I don't think there's a more elegant women's watch than a small Tank Française gold on a beautiful women's wrist.
Yeah.
You could just start from there and move on, and move out.
Yep.
I think, yeah.
Yep.
And
yeah, what I like about the
Tank.
Yep. What I like about the vintage Tudors are how they were even more closely paired with Rolex. Like I mentioned in the chat, my Tudor actually has a Rolex case back and crown. So when you get these serviced, you actually have to get Rolex parts for their crowns and whatnot. And I think, I haven't verified this, but someone had mentioned that, in fact, with these vintage Tudors, they're essentially just Rolex watches with off-the-shelf movements. So
yeah, fair point there. Next super chat, Patel Philippe, $5. AC3, show Norman some of your favorite vintage Pateks. Okay, let's have a look here. We'll bring this up on the screen here. Let's have a look for Norman here. So Patel says the favorite vintage is the 570. Let's have a look here. 570 Patek. This was a simple Calatrava. The jumbo was 35 mils, believe it or not. 35 mils. The jumbo version of this was considered 35 mils. Very similar styling to the 5196, by the way, Jay.
Beautiful.
Anthony. The 1526, that's a beautiful perpetual calendar. Very, very beautiful watch. Perpetual calendar 50s. This is very, very beautiful piece.
I feel like moon phases just up the level of dressiness in a piece.
I have to agree. That complication has grown on me.
Yeah, same.
Probably one of the most collectible watches of all time. Probably this is a 2499. Quite a big size, but these are a bigger size. And then finally the 5035, which is one that I had and unfortunately was stolen. My one was stolen. This was actually my photo here, I think. 5035, absolutely 37 mil, but it wore like a 36, 35, 36 it wore. It was incredible watch, and very sad that I had that watch stolen. Dirk Diglock, $5. Norman, what vintage watch would you recommend to get laid? What vintage watch is a pussy magnet? I don't think vintage watches are. Well, nothing is really a pussy magnet. It's it just gives you swagger. It gives you swagger.
Yeah. Like I said in the chat, of all my vintage pieces, it would have to be the Tudor, just because the amount of attention it gets. So, I mean, me and the two Dans could have gone on a date night with the Tudor.
I actually, if we're going vintage, I would rather have a Tudor vintage Submariner than I would a vintage Submariner. I think price wise they're about the same. When you're talking about going back pretty far.
Yeah.
When the Submariner was I don't know if it was smaller, but you get yourself a Tudor Submariner, and again it's same case back, possibly everything. And I would take a Tudor Submariner over a Rolex if in vintage, very vintage.
You guys have looked at the 1908, haven't you?
Yes, that's the Cellini. The
Cellini.
We've got another super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Mike the Snake and Norman, thoughts on the Tudor Blue Submariner? Pull it up. So this was the I actually owned one of the actually did I had a
Tudor Blue Sub.
Black one. I had a black one.
Is it a
Um,
vintage? Is it a vintage? It must be because, well, I don't know the lineup really well, but I thought their blue watch was the Pelagos, at least of late.
no, they had a blue. This is the blue
Okay.
Submariner. Yeah,
Oh, that's
and they did it
gorgeous.
with Mercedes hands and also snowflake hands.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Cool. Wow. So, man,
I kind of like it with the stainless steel, the silver.
and
Yeah,
on
it
the
is a.
this is back when they had the Hesselite, right? They weren't crystal. They were,
They did these also in sapphire as well, Mike. They did
but
them
I
in
like the
sapphire.
base model was Hesselite, right? I've
No,
seen
Mm.
that.
Mike.
No,
They came out. They came out as plastic, and then when the model got, when basically the time went by, they updated it to sapphire. It was nothing to
okay,
do with the base model. They
okay.
eventually went to
So there was just a certain
sapphire.
date at which point they switched over to crystal. I get it now.
William Gaudrian, I have sent you a photo again to your email. I'll call it up. This is the. I'm calling this up now, and these are two watches that he's got. Now, William Gaudrian, you didn't tell me. Are these? What size is the? What size is the president? Is it a 36? I want to know what size it is. Is the president? What size is it? You didn't tell me. I think it's the 36. This is his two-piece collection here. Da 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 da. On the screen now. Beautiful.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Pepsi,
a 36. Yeah, it's
Wow.
beautiful.
Pepsi, and a. I think that's a 36. To have that dial, it has to be 36. It have to be
Oh,
36
that dial.
to have that.
Look at the lugs too. They're brushed. It's like an 18238 or 18038. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can just stop right there. You can just stop right there.
Well played. It's gorgeous.
We got a super chat. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, thoughts on the Rolex Explorer Datejust and Day Date in 36 size as opposed to the bigger variants? Give us the small wrist feeling.
Yes, I just tried a couple of those on in my recent trip, and absolutely amazing. Yep, I am totally down for 36 with variants like that. Absolutely. But I'm generally a no date person, so I've always gone toward more like the OP or the Explorers in 36.
Yep, I get you. I completely get you there. I understand what you mean there.
That red dial is spectacular.
Oh, yeah. Red dials are so great.
The diamonds really look nice with it too, and I'm not a diamonds guy. Really well done.
We've got some more super chats coming through here. Patel Philippe, $5. Mike the Snake, can you show and tell Norman about your Seiko Pog?
Oh,
Well, are you familiar with the Pogue?
I am not.
Anthony? It's the Seiko 6139, I believe, is the reference number. William Pogue spent like 180 days in Space Lab, and at the time, everybody was getting issued their Omega watches before going up into space, and like just before he's supposed to get on the module, he wasn't issued his watch, so he ran to the airport and went to the non-duty store and bought a Seiko 6139, and he smuggled it aboard and in his spacesuit, but right before he got in the capsule, they said, "Oh yeah, here's your watch," and so there's pictures of him like this, double-fisted, wearing both watches, and it was commented that he preferred using the Seiko for thruster burns, like they were actually having to time them by hand and stuff. And he
Oh, wow.
said he preferred using the Pogue over the Omega for thruster burns and things like that. But as it turns out, you know, it's kind of the one of the space watches officially, and it's a real cool Seiko to own in my book, in my opinion. And when I was about 3 years old, my security blanket was my father's watch. I loved pushing the buttons, and I wouldn't go to sleep until he'd wrapped it around my ankle. Okay, weird me. And then he'd come and steal it back after I'd go to sleep. And we went through a couple of years of that, and then I grew out of it. But then 35, 40 years later, I get into watches, and I ask him about the watch, and he played dumb for a while, and like a year or year and a half. And then one day he gave me a gift, and we don't do gifts for my birthday. He says, "Here." And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, "Just here." And it was that watch.
Wow.
And so yeah, I got that watch that I'd been playing with at age 2 or 1 or 3 or whatever it was. It's the oldest memory I have to date. And to get that watch, I took it in. I had it refurbished inside, but left the outside alone. And it's the original bracelet. It was really hashed out. So I bought a Uncle Seiko replacement bracelet that I just use for wearing it, and it runs great. It keeps killer time, and its patina is just perfect from 1972. And yeah, that's the story of the that's what's the story of the Pogue watch. And
That is super cool.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a cool story.
Is it the gold dial?
It is the gold dial. And what I have is called a blue Pogue because it checks every mark with the exception of the dial color. And there are a lot of little itty bitty nitpick things, like it had to be the right era and serial within a certain serial number, and it had a little sumo symbol directly under the center, and it had to say water resist, not waterproof, and it had to say Seiko automatic underneath the word Seiko, and a couple of other things on the dial that, like, really, if any one of those little things were missing, then you had a different model. You had like, I mean, even though Pepsi Seiko put out about 20 models that are dead ringers for that watch, probably use the same case.
Okay, I got to catch up on some super chats here. We got Patrick B, $2. Archie, don't forget Lollipop Tuna hands. That's correct. We're talking about the submariners there, Tudor Submariners. We got Patel Philippe, $5. Head over to the Vacheron website and take Norman shopping. So Norman, with Vacheron itself, there's some amazing pieces there. Are you a Vacheron fan itself?
I don't really check them out a whole lot. I do. Vacheron is one of the few brands early on when I started my channel, I was reaching out to brands to see if they would send me physical catalogs. And Vacheron was one of the few brands that actually sent me one. They sent a hardback catalog. So I've perused through that numerous times, but I haven't really familiarized myself with all their different models.
Yeah, Vacheron themselves there, it's let's have a sticky beak there. We'll have a look there. A lot of their stuff is they're an expensive brand. They certainly are not cheap. Cheap is not the sort of the bargain basement isn't really what you would call there. Let's have a look here. I think one of probably the most interesting one is the Historiques. These are here. These were reissued because you're into retro. You like retro sort of stuff. This is probably the so this is a triple date. See, triple date. Most people don't have triple dates now. They've gone either perpetual but triple date. I think a triple date's a great complication. Have a look here. These are the Historiques. They've got the 1955 Corne de Vache, beautiful chronograph. That's the the Historics 222, which was the lead on to the overseas. They've got the 1921, very classic 1921.
Yes.
These here are very.
I love those.
They were driver's watch. A driver's watch, just beautifully done. How it is on that side kilter there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's super cool.
Yeah, those are probably my favorite by the brand. I do like that triple date. And it looks like it's got a pin push setting button on it.
Yes. It's that's actually quite an amazing piece here. They do it in red and blue. Just a beautiful, look at that, beautiful, just simple. Everything is sort of. I agree that these actually are not ridiculous. Do you have a ceiling you would spend on watches? Like how do you work out your budget for watches, Norman?
So I work I actually teach Kung Fu. That's kind of my side hustle. And I have a separate account, and that money kind of what doesn't go back into the school goes into there and starts building up for watches. So I don't have a huge budget, which is why I'm kind of limited on the luxury pieces that I own. But yeah, I do that for a side hustle and collect what I can.
Tell me this. Which state of America are you in yourself?
Washington.
Okay, it's an expensive state there. Things are expensive.
Yes.
You're a homeowner?
Yep.
Are you a Dave Ramsey fan?
I haven't followed any of his stuff.
Okay.
My wife is an amazing domestic banker, so she does the family finances, but all of my watch stuff is completely separate.
Yeah,
I don't touch the family funds, and the family doesn't dip into the watch funds.
What's your goal with collecting there? Do you want to get something as an end piece? Do you have a Grail end piece you want to go to, or you want to build a diverse collection? What's the aim?
It's come up a few times. I think at this point, probably the closest would be like the Reverso or something. I mean, that like a duo face at, what are those, 10, somewhere around there? That would be
that watch is such a good deal.
Yeah.
And they make it in the large size, which people, even though the numbers you wouldn't think, it wears really large on the wrist.
Yeah.
And I love the dual face. It's like a split personality watch or a GMT.
Yeah. I like the flexibility. You can have your classic light dial tank, but if you're in the mood, you can have that black dial as well.
Yeah, exactly. And one side has a date, and the other side, I think, has a power reserve or a day-night indicator.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They have a different complication on each side. It's I think it's one of the coolest Reversos available, honestly. Because if you want to be way retro,
okay, just hang on, Mike. We got to catch up on some super chats here. Nope. I've got a super chat. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, thoughts on the date 18018 black dial? Pull it up, Arch. Okie dokie. Let's have a sticky beak. The 18018. What the hell is this? Rolex 18018. Da-da-da-da. Oh, here we go. This is what is it? This is a date with the pyramid bezel and diamonds. What do you think there? Is that you?
That is not me personally. I am intrigued by that pyramid bezel though. That I don't think I've encountered that before.
Yes, very rare watch. Indeed.
In general, I'm more like stainless steel or white gold. I do like yellow gold with a really nice light cream dial. I have a Whitnow, vintage Whitnower that's like that.
Yes.
Let's see.
We've got another super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Pull up a Tiger's Eye Day and Falcon's Eye Yacht Master. Let's have a look here. Tiger's Eye. Let's have a look. Rolex Tiger's Eye. Tell me what you think of this Tiger's Eye. Da-da-da-da. Let's have a look. Here we go. This is the Tiger's Eye. What do you think of this?
Okay, I've encountered that before.
Looks like it belongs in a Sexton in Vegas.
Oh, I like the one on the top that was third over. That looked like it had a wooden dial.
I like the previous watch.
Yeah.
That's actually sorry, that's another the Tiger's Eye. That's
That's
Tiger's Eye, okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's Tiger's Eye, the stone. That I love to death.
I like that, yeah.
Hate the Daytona. I love the Daytona,
yeah.
And then the other one is the Falcon's Eye. Falcon's Eye. Let's have a look. Falcon's Eye. Oops. Here we go. Falcon's Eye. Rolex. And this here is it's basically it's the dial.
Real dark blue.
Oh.
Well, is that? When we can see it. Does it have striations through it or something?
It looks like it.
It's
because
it's the material they use for it. It's I think it's a stone dial. The stone here. This is the dial itself there. So it's got the it's got the natural marks in it. Hence the hence the name there.
I like the colors in it too.
So which one do you prefer? Let's ask the panel here. He wants me to ask, what do you prefer, Tiger or Falcon's Eye? What would you go for?
As amazing as that Falcon looks, I think the Tiger's Eye. I kind of like the warm hues of that.
What about you, Jay Anthony? What would you go for?
I have Tiger's Eye on my band, so I would go with the Falcon's Eye because black's my favorite color. But yeah, I think they're both nice, actually.
Yeah,
they're beautiful. Yes, and Mike,
I think I'd go with the Tiger's Eye, the brown one.
And Archie,
excellent. We got Mr. Valjoux, $10.
It'd be a toss-up, really.
In your professional opinions, is flipping the previous ceramic bezel Daytona worth the premium for the current Daytona?
Did they make many changes?
So basically, they've got that steel bezel. All they've done is really, it's gone from the ceramic. It's. I don't even know if people would even know the difference. The Rolex Daytona Panda. So that they put that ring around it, haven't they? Really new.
So they kind of made the bezel more old school.
The subdials are more like the Zenith movement era too. They changed the subdials a bit.
Okay.
This is here is where you can see it a little bit more.
This is the ceramic Panda.
Got the metal thing on the end there. Fuck.
And
can you see?
This is the other than ceramic Panda.
Well, I think the thing is still ceramic. It's just got the metal.
Yeah, it's inlaid in the metal. Whereas the other bezel kind of stands out, as a, you could chip the edge of it, right? Whereas the other one is captured like with it's inset into, a metal cavity. So it's kind of got a metal ring around it.
I kind of like the look of that metal ring on the outside.
I do too, I think. Yeah. Plus, I'd be a little bit leery of having a ceramic with a sheer edge out there because they do chip so easily. But I don't know if subs and sea dwellers have I don't know what they do about that, but they seem damn durable, and they're the opposite, but they have ceramic bezels as well. But I think they have a bunch of metal before you. I don't know.
I think, Mr. Valjoux, is it worth upgrading? I can't see. Look, the thing is, it's funny, you know, so many people who own these things, they all want the latest thing. They kind of, this is why Rolex does these changes, because they want to nab people like you. They want to nab them and say, you got to get the next one. It's like with my BMW, they had an LCI, life cycle impulse. I was perfectly happy with my car, but they changed the lights a little bit. They put a bigger, I actually don't even want the bigger fucking screen in the car. I want a car. I don't want a fucking, if I wanted a video game, I go to a pinball parlor. But it's they
intentional obsolescence.
Exactly. They do these subtle changes for what? To get people to say, okay. And you know, the funny thing is, you know, I was at the bro house with OC. He's one of the worst offenders. He wanted to. We've got Mr. Goldberg joining us. Hello, Mr. Goldberg. We've got, you know, he had a platinum day date and he wanted, I wish I had the new fluted bezel. I'm thinking, fuck. Is it just so you have the kudos of having the latest model, or is it something you actually? For me, see, I'm in such awe of having any day date platinum. It does, you know, and I think. What do you think, Mark? Would you sell your Panda to get the newer one, Mark? What do you think of that?
I would have to. Yeah, maybe. The problem is, I'd have to.
Have you got this one? Which one do you have?
I have the prior iteration.
Okay, that's what Mr. Valjoux's got. He's got the prior.
And it's good.
Is it worth selling and getting the new one?
No, because I think the price differential is going to be a bit extreme. Like what are these guys going for? I mean, I could probably put in for one of those retail. It would just take me a couple years to get it. But do I need two Pandas? You know, so I got one. I think this new one is nominally nicer because I think it wears a little bigger, and that's really the problem with the current one. It wears a little small.
There you go. There you go. I hope that helps there. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, what's your favorite Kung Fu flicks?
I actually really liked the first Ip Man movie. When I saw that, I had already been learning and teaching Kung Fu for a while, and that one was very inspirational. So after seeing that, was invigorated next time I taught class. I also like Gordon Liu. He used to be my favorite back in the day.
Well, we've got a few super chats actually there, Mr. Mark. We've been chasing for a little bit. Patel Philippe, $5. AC3, build an ideal three-piece neo-vintage Rolex collection for our friend Norman. Ask him some questions to tailor the fit. I would say, you know, a beautiful three-piece Neo Rolex collection. I'd have to say, this is what I'd have to say. You would want to have some sort of sub. I would probably go 14060, no date sub. It's a beautiful piece. I would say you would need to have some sort of GMT. I would go for a 16570 40 mil Explorer 2. That's our GMT function. And then finally, I'd add a 36 mil Datejust 16234 white gold bezel. Any number of dials you could go for. That'd be a three-piece neo vintage.
Nice.
Beautiful collection. In fact, I've owned those pieces, and I sometimes look at it and say, "Fuck that! I should have been happy. I should have attained happiness there."
Archie, what about a 6538 sub? Since our friend loves the vintage,
What? Sorry.
a 6538, the Bond Submariner from the 60s, the Sean Connery edition. It's a little bit smaller.
Tan was saying Neo vintage, so it needs to be sapphire.
You're
Neo
right.
vintage, and I don't think they're good value. I don't think those older, they're fucking so collectible. So I think Neo vintage is I look back on Neo vintage. I love it. I really do love it. I look at the pieces I had, and I had a 16610. That's a great watch to have. 16610. They were a beautiful watch to have. I didn't know the 16610 had spider cracks. I thought that was the 55. The no date had the spider. Does 16610 also have spider cracking?
My 16710 GMT had pretty bad spider cracking, and the model before, I think it was called, they call it the fat one, the thicker one, I forget what that was called. They did those dials from the late 80s and the 90s did it.
Sorry, okay, you're talking GMT. Okay, no, it wasn't the date sub.
The dials are made by the same company though, so there's a high possibility. I think it's just late 80s.
Yeah, I didn't really hear. Yeah, it was mainly the no dates had that. The 5513s, the last of the 5513s, had that problem there. But I reckon those three pieces would be perfect. A 36 mil date just. I'd even go for a silver dial just to keep it minimalist. An Explorer 2 and a no date sub. Fuck, 3 Rolexes, Neo vintage.
Gold bezel or stainless bezel? What are you doing?
I'd go for the white gold bezel.
Same, yeah.
I never felt the steel bezel had the same warmth. I always thought the white gold bezels have a certain luster to them. It's and on the second-hand market, there's not much that difference in price. Second-hand wise, brand new, there's a bit of a difference. We've got a super chat. Marine Layer at $5. Mike the Snake, can you show and tell Norman about your ironing board in the mirror behind you?
Yes. It's a magic ironing board. I can demonstrate. I will do so right now.
The irony is everything in Mike's room is wrinkled. The simple mirror contains not a safe for watches and cash, not a Murphy bed, but an
ironing board.
Ironic.
Wow.
Is there dust on that? Very handy.
We got a super chat here from Patrick B. Thank you, Patrick B. Norman, thanks for bringing some different watch talk on tonight. Cool stuff. Sub to your channel. What's the name of your channel, Norman?
Killing Time with Norman.
Killing Time with Norman. How many watches do you own, Norman?
Oh boy. I have like a 10 watch box that's full. I have a 24 slot box that's also full. And then I have a box of gift watches. Those are any pieces that like viewers have sent me. And I keep those in their own box. And then I've got watches sitting on the shelf. I've got a bunch of...
You got a lot of watches, man.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of vintage swatches.
Have we met before? A conversation, I can't remember. My memory sucks. But it's welcome and hello.
Thank you. No, this is crazy because I began my watch nerd journey watching all of you guys. So
yeah,
Archie. Cool.
Well, then, Norman, you have sunk to the lowest point.
We got Mr. Valjoux, $10. Thanks for your opinion, Arch. That is why you are the pontiff. You too, Marky.
Well said.
Yep.
How
And we
sweet.
got Frank the Tank, $5. Norman, is Wing Chun overrated? Please enlighten us. $5.
I feel like most traditional kung fu probably isn't, except maybe in the movies. I think, at least around here, the traditional stuff is all the traditional schools are small. Most of the interest is in like ring fighting. So Taekwondo does well, more UFC stuff like BJJ, the groundwork stuff. Yeah.
More importantly, how do you feel about the song?
Love it, of course.
Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, everybody was kung fu fighting.
Both songs are actually really
Everybody
good.
was kung fu fighting.
Yeah.
You know, I have another question about that. Do you feel like kung fu has been slighted in terms of the popularity of karate? And of course, I'm referring to the high karate Cologne, but kung fu, to my knowledge, has never had its own scent.
Yeah, I mean, what's up with that?
Exactly.
I feel like it has been slighted.
I mean, they never had a TV show called Karate, a weekly TV show.
Well, they do have Karate Kid.
but they had a weekly
I'll be
TV
back
show
in one
called.
moment. I'll be back in one moment.
Oops, there he goes. All right, guys, we're gonna do the tradition here, which is we're gonna zero in on Archie so we can see his shorts on the way out. There we go.
There we go.
I believe those are the same
Karate-
shorts that he's worn every day for the last about week, Mike.
He got up at the 30-second mark, so he's being timed.
He has changed his shirt though, so we got to give him points for that.
Seriously, though, I mean, you know, when I was in Thailand, the what I realized was cargo shorts. It's like the old white man uniform.
Yeah.
Cargo pants and cargo shorts. I don't know why we love them so, but it's the old white man uniform. We all have them.
Have you ever seen The Man with the Golden Gun where the J.W. Pepper's in Thailand and he has the camera and the shorts and the Hawaiian shirt? He just described the uniform.
Yep.
Craziness. Well, now look at the organization of paperwork there in the Archie Luxury Studios. That is quite a that is 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
This is a curated collection.
Yeah.
Yes, that it is. It sort of looks like my unpaid bill folder. Thank God, by the way. Thank God. Am I alone in this? Like, the only reason that I have a reasonable credit score is auto pay, because before auto pay, I was like your classic deadbeat.
Yeah.
See how much awkward silence we can stack up here.
His shoes are neatly lined up there.
Now, Norman, since you've been with us for a long time, do you remember the Archie Luxury shoe episode when he showed us the high heel collection?
Ooh, no. I did not see that one.
I feel that was an all-time low in Archie Luxury history.
Yeah, I think isn't that the one where he just smells them and sniffs them?
Yes, Mikey, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. That it is absolutely classic.
Yeah, and actually, for those of you who might not have been there that night, Mikey, you might remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did he not deep throat a pair of stilettos?
I honestly, I don't remember.
Or did I just dream that? I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember.
You looked away.
The video well enough to remember if that happened.
Well, you know, in fairness to Mikey, recreational marijuana has been in your state for a very long time.
Of course.
So naturally, you don't remember.
But that's not any excuse.
Well, these days when I remember where I put my keys, I feel like I'm a psychic. I mean, I remember high school better than I remember where I put, my cell phone. But here we are.
Yeah, I remember the old tighty whitey days. That was good times.
Well, that explains why you had to take martial arts.
Oh yeah.
You're that good. Because if you had punch me face, eventually you just had to learn how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, never really mastered that. So I just started getting big dogs.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Yeah. Thank God this isn't my stream. All right. Well, let's look at some of the let's read some of the comments. Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wang Chun tonight. Satan's kitten better watch out. He's downstairs doing Lord knows what. Archie, are you back with us now?
I am back with you guys here. We got Frank.
Well, we were talking about the good old days.
The good old days.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I wanna ask Norman there, wristwatches themselves. When did the hobby start for you? As a teenager, 20s, 30s? When did it?
I liked watches, but didn't know anything about them most of my life. And then I think around 2019 or so, I really started getting into them. Mainly thanks to YouTube. And started out with just pure dive watches. I really liked the mill sub style. That was the aesthetic that I liked, and it was super narrow. Like that was all I wanted. Like I just wanted the dot indices, the sword hands.
Are you a car person yourself?
Not so much. I appreciate cars, but I don't know a ton about them. Given my work, I'm more of a computer guy, so I, goof off with computer music, making music on the computer, and basically that and my YouTube work is what I do late at night.
Yes.
How can we bring you to the dark side and get you into cars?
Yeah, my youngest son is taking that plunge. He bought a 93 Volvo wagon, and he's teaching himself to work on it. So he was pulling the air intake off the other week.
What age are you, Norman? I'm 52. How old are you?
I'm just about to turn 50.
Wow, all gets better. You know that?
Yep.
Being 52 in IT is like being 62 in any other industry,
Yes.
Norman.
Yes. Yeah. And
they
my
love
work,
young people. You know?
My work's pretty varied. We have people of all age. There's a couple of guys on my team that I think are probably 5 years older than me. I haven't asked them, but
now Mark Goldberg, he is a world-class dog trainer. Mark,
yes.
your dog.
That would be me. Although I'm thinking that maybe Norman can get you a visa and a work permit over here, and maybe you could go right back to Cobalt and punch cards, Arch.
Yes.
Oh man.
And punch cards. Yes.
Oh yeah, I watch Mark also.
So I'm very sorry about that. I recommend you all watch Jay Anthony instead. He's the class act among us here.
Tell me this: in the workplace, do you see many vintage watches, Norman?
I do not at my work. I have one coworker who, when I first started collecting watches, I had an old Citizen diver. He had the exact same watch, which was crazy and hilarious because him and I are kind of best chums at work. When I came in to interview, he was the guy who showed me around the office, and we've been inseparable since. We're super close at work. But other than that, I don't think anyone even wears watches in any of the workers that I encounter in
and what sort of car
meetings.
do you drive yourself, Norman?
I drive a Lexus IS. Sorry.
That's a nice car.
Yeah. Yeah.
What year?
It was, I think 2019 or 2020, right around there.
Oh, I see.
There's hope for you still.
Yeah, that's a good car. Do you garage it?
Nice.
Norman?
What's that? Sorry.
Do you garage the car?
Unfortunately, I do not. We've tried clearing out the garage, but we have family stuff all over in our garage. So no,
the beautiful thing I like is, Norman, is that the way Americans, they have $500 worth of garbage in the garage, so they leave their $50,000 car out in the elements.
Yes.
That's what that is exactly what I do. Super chat.
Yep.
That is a text.
Super
We get
chat.
Hailstorm too.
Where have you been? We got Patel Philippe, $2. Thoughts on the Seiko Turtle Blue Lagoon big photo, Arch?
You know, Patel and I each have one of those. He got his. I bought mine in Thailand on vacation, and then he liked it and bought one. And neither of us ever wear it. Like maybe 2 hours a year. It's kind of cool, but we barely wear it.
Seiko Turtle. What's it called again? Seiko
The
Turtle.
Blue Lagoon.
Is it the one with the blue to black fade?
No.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da. Here we go.
Oh, it's got
Oh,
a
I think
gradient.
You gotta click
it's
it up.
Saving
Gradient.
Ocean
Oh no,
version.
not even gradient.
It's a blue dial, two-tone blue bezel. It's like a robin's egg blue. I don't even think that does it justice.
I like that bezel.
The bezel
Yeah,
is very nice. You know, it's
blue
aluminum.
green.
So it's not the new ceramic one. It has no.
He's playing with his Daytona. What are you
Hey,
doing,
my
Eddie?
watch is on the fritz, man. I need a part for this motherfucker, man.
Because you opened it up all by yourself and
It's
you're
broken, man. It's broke,
What
man.
happened?
I need a new fucking part. I know what I need. I need an escape.
You need a watchmaker.
Escape lever, flyback lever, man.
Have you tapped it with a hammer?
No, man. I need a new fucking flyback. I can fix it, man. I need to fix it.
Are you going to use WD-40 as a lubricant?
Yeah, I'm gonna spray the whole fucking watch and fill it up with oil, man. The case with oil, man.
Nice. I like your bench. Very, very neat. I see.
This piece is broken, man.
No
A lot of
worries.
plastic.
We'll see you tomorrow, Eddie. That's great to have him on. And we got Aussie Expat joins the stream. Aussie Expat, we got a fellow IT guy on the stream for you, Aussie.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Hey.
Hey, what about that? Oh, you did the Blue Lagoon. Never mind. All done.
Yes,
Thank you.
Blue
Thank you.
Lagoon. What do you think of that? Was a great movie with Brooke Shields in it.
And Christopher something.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke Shields. So I've got to tell you, it's very fascinating stream. We've got a collector here. Norman, you've got to really, when you're going to get your first Rolex? Norman, we can introduce you to the world of credit cards.
Yeah.
HELOC.
And regret and HELOCs and self-hatred.
Here we go. We got Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, the 30-day dress watch challenge shouldn't be hard for Archie, but he keeps wearing sports pieces with dress shirts. Blasphemy. To tell me
shame.
this. So out of my collection,
Porcino.
I got to be totally honest with you there.
Ranking honest.
I will bring up. I'll bring up the collection at the moment there.
No, here we go.
My collection at the moment. Da 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 da. Here we go. My dress watches. I'd say the only dress watch I got here is that Patek World Time.
Yeah.
That's the only dress watch.
Now, aren't you supposed to talk about selling shit off? Aren't you going to sell shit?
Possibly.
Remember, for 2 days you were going to sell things, but you kept calling it shit. I'm going to sell shit.
I think you mentioned selling the world time, actually.
He did. Actually, you're 100% right. And he was just giving you shit.
But then there was the ultimate three-piece collection, which was the Breguet, the world time, and the sub, right? So everything else is going. So what's going on? Can we get it
What's
right?
going on, Jay Anthony, is every day you watch, you're listening to a different one of Archie Luxury's many personalities, and they don't talk to each other. So he often loses track of what he said because it was a different person.
Multiple personality disorder is a very serious concern of mine.
Yes, it is true. It's not a joking matter, Jay Anthony. I think you should be a little kinder to the pontiff.
All right. We all have our mental illnesses. It's all fair game.
Although Ron the Shrink says it doesn't really exist. And I said, Sybil. He said he never read it.
Yep. So I got to say, dress watches, I used to have a few. I love the genre, but the problem is with casualized societies. No one even wears neckties now.
I was talking about that in a
No.
video. I mean, it's casual Friday every day now. So how do they sell dress watches?
I still
Well,
think they're
most
amazing.
people don't
Like,
don't wear watches, so getting them to go to a dress watch, it's not.
I think any watch you wear is a dress watch. Any analog watch is a dress watch, isn't it?
hmm
It's not
Just put on a
1990.
Rolex strap, call it a day.
It's not 1996 anymore, is it?
All right, we got another super chat here.
Super chat. Patel Philippe, $5. Norman, with Mike the Snake's help, name a kung fu or martial arts movie that reminds you of each watch in Archie's collection on the screen.
Oh my. For the Moon Watch, maybe Fearless, Jet Li.
You know, I think the Speedmaster you might find on John Wick, maybe, or wearing a Submariner for his John Wick movies, where there's just tons of karate, like TV karate. And other than that, Jackie Chan in between, in his later years, I could see wearing the World Time.
I have one
But
question.
the only watches that are
John
gonna
Wick
hold
wears
up,
Bucherer.
Mikey, I have a question.
yeah.
Why are you answering Norman's question?
No, he was asked to. He said with MTS help. No, he was asked to.
Norman,
Yeah,
Mike the Snake's help. Yep.
Don't make me defend Mike the Snake. Don't make me defend him.
You know what, Mike? My apologies. I should have read the fucking super chat.
Yeah, I'm done anyways.
I would like to see the World Timer in a martial arts movie. I would like to see someone kicking butt with that watch on.
Some karate chops with it on your right hand. That'd be fantastic.
Obviously, be worn by one of the Yakuza villains.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Super chat.
Patel Philippe, $5. J. Anthony and Norman, is Big Trouble in Little China the cult classic they make it out to be?
It's
Yes.
a great movie.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely great movie.
Yep. That was a good one.
Where do you guys
movie are you watching?
He made a couple of straight classics, like Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Those are great movies. That's when Kurt was just in his prime, man. He was just rolling.
Yeah.
And those are three movies that just are great, and you should watch them. Kirk Russell is best.
Carpenter's got a lot of good movies. He does.
As a huge vintage watch nerd and fan, have you guys seen Asteroid City?
No.
It's fun and crazy. And if you are a vintage watch nerd, there's so much eye candy in that movie.
Now, Aussie expat, what's your favorite part of expating in Aussie?
In Australia. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the last place that an Australian could expat to.
I know, it's a bit pricey.
No, but I mean, you can't literally
You can't
be an
expat
Aussie
here.
and then expat to Australia.
Well, where are you expating?
I'm in Las Vegas.
Good God! I mean, the normal Aussie goes to Thailand. What do you or Cambodia?
I've spent a good amount of time in Thailand.
Of course you have.
Like 6 to 9 months. I got married in Thailand.
Did you?
Mm.
Which bar? No, just kidding.
Highly recommend it. Koh Phangan.
Koh Phangan. Wow, nice, very nice, beautiful. Super chat.
Super chat. AC3, pull up the Seiko Bruce Lee, a curly favorite. That's right. Seiko Bruce Lee, a curly favorite. Get your panel's thoughts on this. Let's have a look. Getting it up. Just hang on, guys. Just hang on. That is the Seiko Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. Let's get this fucker up on the screen now. Seiko Bruce Lee. Here we go. What is this? The Seiko Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
is
it's
the
a speed timer. I used to
yellow
own one of
white.
these.
The
Oh,
limited
no.
edition one's cool.
Yeah, it's got the bracelet with the holes in it. Yeah, very cool watch.
I had one of these on a leather. Yeah, it's a speed timer, and it had a kanji date wheel. These are really cool for day of the week.
Is it quartz?
No, it's automatic. It's a speed timer.
Oh my god, nice.
Yeah, I wish I'd never sold it. These were really cool.
I see a limited edition one that has Chinese characters on the bezel.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, so it has the day of the week, like today's Getsu Yobi, like Japanese dates. That's cool. I guess he had the American or the English version, though. It's hard to read it.
I've been reading up on about the state of Hong Kong recently. Things don't look good over there, guys.
I'll be there next month, so what's going on?
Everyone's gone. Like, as in anyone, the money's moved out. Like, the CCP has successfully scared the shit out of everyone, and it's not coming back.
Archie was just there and broadcast repeatedly from the same.
What date are you going to Hong Kong, Jay Anthony?
I will tell you offline, but I will be in Hong Kong, I'll be in Taiwan, and I'll be in Tokyo doing some watch shopping. So I'm open to recommendations.
Oh, cool.
I might even be there. But
when are you going to be there? Yeah, let's talk. I'd love to run into you.
Yeah, tell us if it's still fun. I mean, I used to have fun in Hong Kong, but I'm scared that it's what I saw 10 years ago is no longer there.
I can't wait to go.
Everything changes. A lot of it's gone to Singapore, but
yeah, that's what I hear. Singapore,
Hong Kong is still Hong Kong,
and then people fleeing to UK and Canada. Yeah.
We got another super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Jay Anthony, Tim Mossos is going to Honkers on October 24. You should meet him and tell him how much you love his favorite product, the Pantera. He's going to Honkers on October 24. What's he going there for? I didn't know this. What's Tim Mosso going?
Well, they have a branch there, don't they?
They do.
So-
They do in Hong Kong. I've been there. It's a great store. Fantastic
You did
store.
you did a live stream from there.
So-
Exactly. That was a good show, actually. Very.
Well, because you
Is
weren't eating and you weren't broadcasting from a Starbucks.
Yes. Yes.
So-
Yes. Yes.
Tell me about this Pantera reference. I know Tim also, and I know he's actually driving a C5 Corvette, albeit a worse one than the one I had. So I am curious what he thinks about his now. But what's the Pantera reference with him? I don't get that.
Yeah, me either. It might be a poke at me.
That's kind of what I was wondering. Yeah. I don't know. I think Tim also is too intellectual for me. I don't know if I can handle him, but I respect him.
Yeah, he's a huge JLC fan.
He has a Tourbillon, right? He had something special from them.
Yeah, he did there. Madman, $10. Panel's opinion on the of the Corano Ria I'm waiting on. What is a Corano Riwa?
The panel has no idea. You better look it up, Arch.
Take a look.
The panel is stumped.
Call it up.
Yes, that watch is amazing.
They are quite expensive. Yeah, they're cool.
Oh, the Japanese.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Wow.
That watch opened my 30-day dress watch challenge, actually. That was the first one.
Oh, you have one of these? These are expensive, aren't
I
they?
wish. I do not. They're actually reasonably affordable, but they're just super difficult to get. They sell out really quick, and they're like
Are they
they're all limited edition.
High beat mechanical or spring drive?
They're mechanical, yeah. I've heard owners say the movement isn't the greatest, though. I don't recall what they go with.
Well, I gotta ask I gotta beg the question here. What's the big deal about this
I think
watch?
it's
If
the
it's not the
attention to
movie,
details, Japanese attention to detail.
are you
Yeah,
talking?
and the owner and designer does high end watches, and then he started this brand as like a more accessible thing,
Kinda
and the designs are just gorgeous.
the Tudor story.
Yeah.
I thought it was expensive.
We've got another super chat here. We've got one from Derez Mang, $5 on a delay. 5022 for Norman, 33 mil classic.
Ooh, you'd need a tiny little wrist bone for that. Although actually, I have a 34 millimeter Rolex, and it looks all right.
Oh, look at that there. 5022. Look at this. Very
Looks like a lyrique-esque.
It's all about the dial size. With these watches, the bezel makes the watch look smaller because the dial is tiny.
33.3 mil. There you go. 33 mil. And we got Patel Philippe, $5. You missed a bunch of super chats above Madman's. No, I don't think I did. Let's have a look. Above Man also sent you Watch's YouTube channel. Can you pull up and invite him on the stream? Thanks. Okay. We got some great. Thank you, Tan, so much for helping me get some good panelists on here. It makes a big difference having some great panelists, that's for sure. We got a super chat here. Rich Mitch, Mike the Snake, Fake Skin,
Pliskin.
and we got Patel Philippe, $5. AC3, a big hello to Watch Chat. Cool channel talking watches values. Watch values. Love to see you on the panel with them. Thanks for checking us out. AC3, a big hello to Watch Chat. Hey, Watch Chat. Cool channel talking watch values. Love to see you on the panel.
Like Watt Chat or Watch Chat.
Watch Chat. Okay.
Nope. There's only one C in there.
Watch Chat. I get
Watch Chat.
Saying there. Invite him on. Okay, we got Mobster, $2. Arch, play the Mike the Snake. I don't have that clip. Curly removed all the clips when he fucked off.
Whoa.
Thank you, Curly, for that.
Is that proprietary information? Is that theft of services? Do we have a case?
I don't know. Madman, $5. Norman, are you here to steal the leads? Please be frank and honest. It's what we expect in the Archieverse. I subbed, by the way.
No.
Too honest.
Of course not.
Of course not. Thank you for your subscription. Please like, subscribe, and tell your shithead friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we got another super chat here. Patel Philippe, $5. Pull up your What's Chat channel in your WhatsApp. That's thanks. Check out some of the videos and tell us what you like. Okay, let's have a look here.
Let's do this then. Mm-hmm.
I gotta find this thing here. I've got. This is Watch Chat. Here we go. Watch Chat here. He's got some interesting videos here. What's he got? He's got interesting videos. He's got some. What's he got here? He's got some interesting. He's got some Tudor reviews here. Interesting stuff. Interesting. He's got a collection of interesting videos here. Some interesting stuff. Really good stuff. What state of the watch collection? It looks good. He's got some interesting thumbnails, that's for sure. He did a few reviews, certified, talks about different things.
Filter by Rolex. Those are the only videos that matter. I'm joking.
There we go. He's got a few interesting. He's got a Wimbledon review. These are a bit old, but these are a bit old. He's got some interesting stuff. Some of the German videos, 8 days. He's got some Tudor videos.
The German videos are always kinky.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff there. There we go. There's some interesting stuff indeed there. Aussie expat, how are you going, man?
Yeah, good. Just had a long day, cooked for the kids. The wife's in LA, so I'm a bachelor if I didn't have these two kids around. That's all I want.
What's she doing in LA? Work?
Yeah. She works in entertainment at the moment, so yeah, she's in LA.
Well, you can't just say she's in entertainment. Now we're curious. What does that mean?
Well, like for like one of the big streaming companies.
Well, okay. Like
she's not talent. She's not.
Well, how rude. But I know what you mean. She's on the business side. She's on the business. Yeah. There you go.
Archie, quick watch for you to pull up. They talked about Corona. Can you look up Atsuka Low-Tech? This is the Japanese one. I'm curious what you guys think. It's OT.
I've seen a couple of these in person.
What do you think about them? This to me is the real mystery watch for me.
I mean,
they have a cheap movement.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Yeah. It's Atsuka Low-Tech.
So this watch, this is the watch that you get.
Archie, are you
well, when you bring it up, is the watch that you get if you want to.
OTSUKA space LOTEC. Yes, these are from Tokyo.
Wow, what time is it? For God's sake, what time is it?
Yeah, so my Aussie, you were saying you've seen one of these. What were you going to say? I'm curious.
Yeah, I've seen a couple. I've seen that one, and then also the one that looks like a volume meter.
Yeah,
and they're really beautiful. These photos are pretty representative. You know, they're very industrial, obviously.
Looks like a bad.
They're the kind of watch that you would absolutely get if you wanted to impress anyone about watches, really, because it's just so unique and so obviously mechanical and tactile. You know what I mean? So in amongst a watch collector group, this is interesting, and amongst normies, it's interesting. Sort of like how the Speedmaster, it's kind of interesting for normies because, you know, it's got the exhibition case back, but for, you know, real watch guy, Speedmaster's, you know, pretty entry level. It's not going to impress a crowd, but these things, they don't cost a whole ton, but they're kind of hard to get.
Yeah.
I think your best bet is just going on eBay.
They're a lot more money on eBay than they are in person. Like it's like, I think they're like $2,500 if I do the yen conversion, but on eBay they're like 6 or 7K.
Right. But the thing is, I don't think you can just go ahead and get it. Like it's low production, low volume. So the easiest thing to do is really just get it on eBay.
Okay, I was thinking in Japan next month.
They
I might
do
pick one up.
15 pieces a month. They make 15 pieces a month.
You can try, but you know, if you really just want the watch, you just get it on eBay. But if you want the experience or something, I don't know what the actual process is of getting on the list for this or whatever. But it's cool. It's very cool. I think for the small amount of money that it is ultimately, if you like it, just go ahead.
What do they call?
I think there are a few thousand.
See, that's nice. I think that's really cool. Innovation in the $2,000-$4,000 range. That I like. I'm looking at this thing and thinking it's some kind of obnoxious $25,000 price. But you know, at that price range, I think it's innovative and cool.
Yeah. Now you gotta remember this thing is sort of like from the external in. So outside it looks like really cool and innovative. I believe the timepiece, you know, the movement is there to make it work. Like all of the attractiveness of this is on the outside.
The money went into the design and the case.
We got a super chat. I got to catch up. Andrew Yee, $5. What the hell happened to the blank pane 57s? Used to be a rich man's sub, and now it's half the price of a sub. I think it depends which one you're talking to. There's quite a few blank pane 57s. They're still very respected watch. I don't know if you'd say it's half. I suppose there's a number of models there. And they released that new gold one. Madman has that new 9-carat gold one, which was a really beautiful watch. Look, I think it's like anything. The market is the market. I mean, it's blank pane's always been like a premium brand there, but we've got another super chat. Patel Philippe, $5. Aussie X-Pac, how do you feel Arch will get top dollar when he posts his world time on Gumtree?
It depends if he got some good seller rating by selling all his LV hard case luggage on Gumtree. If that went well, then
Gumtree is a very hard place to sell. I think realistically,
I can fix that dog, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. Ziploc baggie, just very quickly.
Hey, Jay Anthony, you said you're going to Japan. I've got some links to some establishments there where they have some Japanese adult video actresses you can rent for an hour and that sort of thing, and just go for a little spa treatment type stuff. Just let me know how to contact you. I can forward that to you. All your favorites and rating.
I'm good, but I will happily take any Ryokan advice. I'm a big fan of
Hey, close your blind behind you, Aussie Expat. The sun.
Then there's zero light in here. Either way, it's not going to be good.
You want the lighting in front of you, not behind you.
I know.
This stopwatch.
Just turn around. That's all you need to do.
No, I can't. Then honestly, it's not better. The lighting's better, but it's oh well. But let's do this. Let's be in the office. That's fine. Let me see.
Oh, it's okay. You can go back if you want to. Go back.
There we go. That's easy.
Archie is just playing a new game that we have, which is run the panelist around his house. We want to see how many times we can make you run back and forth before you go, fuck that.
I got to say, no, the watches itself. How are you going with the? You've got a beautiful collection, Aussie Expat. We had that on the stream.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful collection. Any thoughts on downsizing, or just happy with what you go?
No, I mean it'll happen eventually, But for me, my strategy is, because I've seen the mistakes been made by yourself. And, and you've repurchased watches over the years, and I'm like, if you just kept it, now there was an event that would have turned that whole strategy upside down. But I'm very weary of getting out of a watch, and then some years down the line, I'm like, actually, I want that back. So I'm gonna wait for like 3, 4, 5 years of complete non-use before I get rid of a watch. So I'll deal with the problems of keeping it before I deal with the problems of trying to get it back.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. We got Patel Philippe, $2. Aussie Expat, why have you no Chico rolls in your place?
Oh man, I would love to get a Chico roll recipe. I know how to make meat pies from scratch here, so I can get that fix done. Yep, that wasn't easy.
You should share.
Dim Sims, I know how to make dim sims from scratch. I do not have a recipe for Chico rolls. I tried to put it together. I tried once. It's bloody difficult. Nobody knows how to do it.
On your meat pie, do you use a short crust, a rough puff? How do you do the crust?
Basically, I take a regular American pie crust recipe and then do it really, really badly, like just beat the crap out of it.
Yeah,
until you get a texture like a tennis ball, like a wet tennis ball. That's the Aussie meat pie. pastry.
Right.
It's like a wet tennis ball. It
We got
holds
another
together.
super chat. Value on the wrist, $10 for the quality dog joke from the dog trainer.
Thank you, value. How kind.
So, guys, I'm actually on my way after this stream today. I am on my way to visit. I'm going to Bundaberg, and I'm going for Sirocco's funeral tomorrow. He was a very, very lovely guy, and I had many. He was a great panelist. He was on the panel many times, and he just a lovely, really lovely guy. He was eccentric as fuck. He had the boat, as you guys might know. He had the boat. He had a very, very interesting life, Sirocco. And very sadly, last year he started having some indigestion and reflux issues, and he actually was flown to Brisbane on the Royal Flying Doctor Service in November. And I visited him. I visited him in his hospital, the Royal Brisbane. Unfortunately, it turned out he had pancreatic cancer, and he put up a good battle, good fight. He tried his best. Unfortunately, that's a very difficult thing to beat. And it's very sad. He died earlier this month. And I thought the best thing I could do is to go to Bundaberg and celebrate his life with his family and friends there. I thought it'd be a good idea to go and just say goodbye to Sirocco there. And so I will be tonight on the Luxy stream. I should be on there. Should be on tonight, and I should be tomorrow. I'll be doing the morning stream. A little bit. I'll be doing it a bit earlier. I'll have to end at 11 because that's when I got to leave the hotel, and then I will be going to the funeral in the afternoon tomorrow afternoon, and then I'll be coming back home. So. Yeah, it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing to do, but he was, Sirocco was such a great guy. I met him a few times. He came to Brisbane a few times, and I remember he said to me, I saw him before I went to America when my collection was stolen, and he said, "I don't know how you handle it, Paul, and geez, I don't know how." You just got to deal with what you've got there. It's not a matter of handling it. You handle it as best you can. There is no real easy answer to any of this shit. You can only ever try your best. So, yeah, that is the situation with our Sirocco there. So, it's very sad. It's very sad that he's part. He was a lovely guy. His real name was Mark Goodall. He was a lovely guy, and I'm definitely wanted to show my respect and pay my respects to him because he is such a good guy, and it's sad. He was a genuine nice guy, and I loved his watches. I think this is the thing, this hobby we have here. It doesn't matter what price point. We had our friend on before, who he likes his pole routers, universal, different price range. But it's always good to have different people on. We've got Mark Goldberg. Mark, you love your watches. You love the people associated with the watches. It's not just. Sorry, Mikey. What's Marky?
Yeah, it's sad to lose them.
Yeah, lovely.
It's sad to lose them. I mean, Archie, I'm hoping to outlive you, only so I don't put you through the pain of mourning me.
I would be very sad if you went, Mark.
I know. That's why I'm working very hard to outlive you.
Yes, you look very healthy.
In truthfulness, it's very sad to lose people. Very sad.
The Chinese food looked good yesterday. I must say that it looked sensational. So yeah, that's that's the way it goes. So that is what we've all got to contend with. So yeah, I think I'll wear the Bluesy. What do you think of that idea? He loved his Bluesy. I'll wear my
Was that the
Bluesy.
last watch he got? I remember when he got it. He had to
No,
travel
he had a
to
few.
England, I think.
He had a few watches. I don't know what his last watch was, to be honest with you.
The Yachtmaster.
We had great cars, nice boat, nice watches. Good guy.
Yeah.
He just bought a car. He just bought that Mercedes like what, 2 months ago?
Yes, correct.
I'm glad he got to enjoy that a little bit.
Yeah. It's it is sad that he's gone. It's devastating, but unfortunately,
You know what? I'm gonna turn on my camera for a quick sec. I don't have too much bandwidth, but I'm wearing this today because I've been thinking about Blue Shirt, and he loved two things: his Bluesy and his Doxa.
yes.
Ah,
Yes.
Super chat.
I didn't
We got
know
a
that.
super chat here. We got a super chat. We got Hoff on Smash, member for 28 months. Safe trip, AC3. Always, you will always love Sirocco. Sirocco sales, yes. Sirocco's great. He's just a great guy, fun guy. I remember when he came on first and we're having a chat with him. Just a great Aussie guy, larrikin.
Are you helping the family with his collection?
No, I haven't been asked anything about that. I think he may have. Look, I'm just. I don't know. Look. They haven't asked.
That's the
me. No one
rancher's
has asked
job.
me. I just wanted to go and pay my respects to him.
The rancher helps people, recently deceased people, with their collections, not Archie.
Yeah. Look, I sort of. It is what it is, you know. I kind of they haven't asked me. Look, I'm sure he's made I'm sure he's made arrangements. He's got some relatives in there. I'm just going to go there and say goodbye to my friend, you know.
Oh, I was just thinking, like, you know, you've talked about the subject before, where a lot of the value
you know what?
of the collection
It's
is.
probably best. Look, I don't. He actually had sold a lot of things in the past, and he had contacts. So hey, look, I don't want to say anything rude, you know. He was quite well off. Sirocco was a well off guy, so you know who I don't think it's polite for me to even inquire.
Can I pivot off of this onto you? Because I think you bring up an interesting topic. I know a lot of people that their watch collection, they already know who they're going to hand it off to. They have picked out watches for like their son, their daughter, their whoever. In my case, I have a nephew and I suspect a niece in a way that are going to be inheriting all my junk. But have you thought about, I know you just had a loss, but your current son or your wife, or what you would do with your stuff? Any wishes for it?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I think the best thing I can do is possibly, I've given some watches already to the kids, and I think I would actually probably look at downsizing a bit in the not too distant future.
That's my plan. That is my exit plan.
I don't think I need that many. To be totally honest with you, these things can become a bit of a hindrance.
Yep.
You've got
kids will just sell them. May as well sell them for the kids so they don't have to go through the process of liquidation and not knowing values.
I think for myself, my own journey itself there, I kind of think, you know, I've managed to try a number of pieces. I will definitely sell a few off. And I think the watches, how many do you need? How many do you really need? You know, it's good to have a play with them. That's the good thing about this hobby is you can get out. You can have a play and then get out. You don't have to keep everything forever. And
super chat.
That's we got a super chat come through here. Patel Philippe, $5. Mark, will you be downsizing all of Mark will be downsizing all of his non-Rolex and retain 42 pieces he bought at retail since the mid 80.
You know, his timing is off, but his numbers are pretty close. I have a lot of garbage. I don't know. I think the right exit plan is one nice watch per kid. You know, written up in your will, so they don't have to fight about it, and the rest just get rid of, and the good ones sell. So because otherwise they're stuck with things that they don't know how to.
Right, but get rid of them before you've shuffled off.
Exactly. They'd rather have the money
and give them before it's even like, why even wait for the will to give it out? Just give it out.
Oh my God!
What about you?
I don't know when we're going to go.
Getting anything?
I better be on my deathbed before I give up a Rolex.
It's a luxury problem if you gave it to them too early. Right?
You don't
they get to enjoy it more.
Might kill me.
Oh no.
It's a tricky.
I like would make my kids text me a proof of life of like the box and papers like every year.
100%.
Yeah, like
100%.
hold up a newspaper, hold up today's newspaper with the box and papers.
With the tangibles you give them now, with the liquid stuff, you say you're automatically out. If I die, executor doesn't see box and papers for this with this serial number. Can't just limp in with a gray deal at the end of the day.
There's actually a guy in my watch who reported his all stolen, so his kids can't sell them. They have to keep them. I thought that was, but if they had to get serviced, they're kind of screwed. I thought that was clever.
That's a move.
Yeah, so that's kind of the way it goes there. It's I thought it'd be good to go to Sirocco's funeral. He was such a good supporter of the channel, and he was he always gave me a push at times. Arch, get out there, video, Gonzo, this, do that.
Okay, now, well, that really brings up a question. Are you going to Gonzo the funeral?
No.
Somehow I think he might have approved, though, right?
Yeah.
It's look, I invited. I just go to the funeral, pay my respects, and come back. That's okay.
Good move.
Gonzo the wake, just the wake.
That's exactly it. So it's that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind to do that. It's okay. Perfectly okay.
It is a shame, though. I feel like we just saw him.
I actually looked up those Mercedes V8 biturbos. It's a cool engine.
Yes.
And the GTS, like the previous generation, man, they've depreciated so much. They're attractive. They're very cheap.
Yes. I know exactly what you mean there. The problem is that they all of those. He wanted the V8 one because they've moved to I think the new model's the 6, isn't it? The 6.
It's something. It's a whole bunch of stupidity. What this one is. You definitely want the older one, the V8 biturbo.
Exactly.
You made the right choice there.
Yes, exactly right. It's that's exactly the point there. It's now, guys, I tell you there, it's a horrible thing to do, but Sirocco was quite happy guy. He loved his boat. He loved Estella. Just you gotta remember to enjoy some of your stuff there, and you gotta hand it to the guy. He retired at 50, and he retired at 50, and he
sailed the ocean blue.
Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. He lived a good life, and I'm very sad to hear it. He's gone. He used to do a lot of night streaming. With the night stream, he came on many times. It really, in the early days of the night stream, Australian night stream, which is your morning stream, he came on many times. He kept the show going. He really helped us a lot, and I just find it hard to believe he's gone. The poor guy's gone, and just a real good character. Just loved his watches. He wasn't out to get leads or start his own channel. He just liked the camaraderie. He's quite well off in his own right there. It
Who's
was
he
all,
leaving behind? I'm never aware.
yeah, he's got a sister. His parents have gone, but he's got a sister. So it's yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty.
She's the one in England, right?
Yes, yeah. So he was from Jersey. So
Jersey.
it's it's very, look, it's
Hard,
really
it's hard. It's hard.
sad there. It's very sad, but unfortunately that's how it goes. I'm afraid that is how it goes. So guys, I want to thank everybody who's super chatted today. Let's go through and thank them. Super chats today. We had Patel Philippe, Jimmy, Patel Philippe, Jimmy, Patel Philippe, Nick Miller, Patel Philippe, Rich Mitch, Patel Philippe, Dr. Bob's Nightmare. We had William Gaudrian, Sam Davidson, Patel Philippe, Dr. Bob's Nightmare, Patel Philippe, GB, Rich Mitch, Patel Philippe, Loose Tooth OC, Patel Philippe, Producer Mark, Patel Philippe, Dirk Diglock, Patel Philippe, William Gaudrian, Patel Philippe, Patrick B, Patel Philippe, Mr. Valjou, Patel Philippe, Marine Leia, Patrick B, Mr. Valjou, Frank the Tank, Patel Philippe, Rich Mitch, Patel Philippe, Madman, Drez Mang, Patel Philippe, Mobster, Madman, Patel Philippe, Andrew Yee, Patel Philippe, Value on Wrist, Hoff on Smash, and Patel Philippe. Guys, that's the show. I've got to head off. I'm going to take my son with me, actually. I'm taking Alex up to Bundaberg. It's about a 4-hour drive. 4-hour drive.
How is Alex?
He's okay. He's a work in progress there.
Yeah.
He misses his brother.
Of course.
And it is a tricky situation, but hey, we try. You've always got to try your best.
Yeah.
Try your best. So that's always the way it is. So guys, that is the stream. There. And I think the best thing you can remember is, as Sirocco, enjoy your watches. Enjoy your watches, your watches, enjoy them, and just get fun out of them. That's all you can really do, is have good fun with your watches, enjoy them, love them. And guys, we will be back. We'll be back tonight and tomorrow, 1 UCLT. Cheers to Sirocco. So guys, that's the stream for today. We love you so much. Thank you for coming. Marky, thank you for coming on. And always, you're great to have you here. Jay Anthony, it's always fantastic to have you on.
Pleasure.
Aussie expat, it's a pleasure to have you on, man.
Likewise.
And Mike the Snake, always love you on there. And,
Mike,
thank you, Arch. Mark.
Safe travel.
Guys, that's
Bye,
the stream. I will see you tomorrow. Okay, guys, I'll just run an outro and see you tomorrow.